Hello! Oh nice, I timed that up really close. The animation, like, for the frames just pulled away. Nice. Alright, I guess next time I'll start that just a touch closer to the stream time. My little one is a bit more upset than usual, so today might be a little more interesting. Hopefully he'll nap. That's kind of the ideal, is we try to time this so he naps during most of it. But not every day works out, because that age, schedules change constantly. But anyways, yeah, so I have my notebook in the way. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me today. My brain is kind of scattered as usual. I'm still in the process of getting it fully awake. Some days I sleep really weird. Like multiple wake ups. It happens. But anyway, yeah, so on the side of good news, my order from Jackson's came in. I got this as I just finished my last class, so I give myself at least some type of small thing, is like, okay, keep going, and most of the time they are art supply related, because, well, I like to play with new things constantly. And it was funny because for maybe like a week before I had placed this order, I had been feeling like dealing with not dealing with, that sounds terrible, playing with Sanguine again. I have the Sanguine colored Conte pencils, which are a lot of fun, and for me, like, finding the ultimate red has been a huge thing, so that's where these come in. So I found these. They are various shades of red, black, and gray tones, along with a white, and I figured we'd go ahead and check these out, especially since they got here now, when I'm working on a very ink-centric challenge, or at least I chose for this to be a very ink-centric challenge. I'm sure not everyone doing MerMay is popping out like pens and ink and brushes and etc. But anyway, this includes a few of the ink tense pans, and we'll go over that as I'm talking about these. So that should be awesome. Come on, pop this guy open. I haven't opened the box. I opened the package just so I'd have them out, and I'm glad I didn't do that earlier, because I always have the worst luck with these tabs ripping. That's alright. It's just the box. Alright, so we have... I'm trying to get it to slide out on camera so you guys see everything. Alright. And that is it. There's no inserts. So we have this, which should be the pencils. And hopefully the music is not too loud for you guys. Gets a bit super dramatic out of nowhere. I went for happy and epic for the mood today. Alright, so this is kind of like a plasticky vellum. It actually reminds me a lot of like how Yuppo feels. It's a synthetic paper. Yeah, and you know what? Let me read the box. That's a quicker intro to what all of this is. So, we have a curated, natural, and monochrome mixed media collection, perfect for creating landscape, portrait, and tonal studies. Everything you need to experiment with shade and tone using Derwent's brand new and uniquely formulated palette. Includes 7 ink tints, 2 graphitint, 2 tinted charcoal, and 1 pastel color, resulting in a muted range of 12 pans. A Derwent drawing, onyx, and a graphic B pencil are included for expressive sketching and form drawing. This compact set also includes a mini water brush, 5 mixing palettes, and a sponge to clean your water brush. I don't know how much I would use that sponge. Me and water brushes are kind of a mixed bag thing. I'm experimenting with one when I go outside, when I go out, just because of not wanting water cups to possibly tip. But yeah. So this is what they mean by the 5 mixing wells. So we have these little rectangular guys. There is a little bit of a ridge there, so the washes aren't just running into each other. Random plastic fuzzies. And then we have a plastic overwrap keeping the bottom all in place. I'm just gonna grab my scissors. I'm gonna go with my my Cricut scissors because I like how pointy they are. Sharp and pointy. Let's just cut that film off. I do enjoy that there's not a ton of packaging here. I do wish that, oh, there's a perforation on the bottom, right where the overlap joins, so you can go that route if you're more observant. I didn't catch that. That's okay. Like I said, weird sleep. I'm not going to be the most observant. This is probably the worst day to do a swatch, but I really do like a lot of Derwent products, so I feel like I probably don't have bad things to say because I have enjoyed the Inktense line so much. I have the full set of 72 pencils from somewhere between a dozen and half a dozen years ago. No, it's definitely more than half a dozen. Yeah, probably from 12 or so years ago, and I've been using them for various works since. So we have these little 6 pans are in a plastic well that you can pop out. Yeah, these are loose. Okay, so the downside to extruded pans, these should just go back into that order, going based on where they landed on my hand. So don't do that. Don't flip it upside down. That's a bad idea. Sometimes I find it to be a good thing, like, to show you what not to do can be just as important. I do know that these guys pop out too, from what I've seen online. Let's see if I can pry one. It's like, is this gonna take a nail? I'm just curious to see if I can get a pan to pop out, or if I need something to pry with. I think I need to get something to pry with to go ahead and get that fully out. It did come up a little bit, but not all the way. I'm a little bit of a chicken because I don't want to, like, snag my nails, because that is one of the worst injuries for me, is like, not the nail bed. Like, these are all natural, and I'm very sensitive to stuff like under my nails and near me. Not doing it. Not doing it. I'm a chicken. So, probably a flathead screwdriver is what I would use, but this does have a nice little ledge that you can catch on to go ahead and pull these pans out, so that is very handy. Give me just one moment. Alright, and yep, just a quick moment to talk to my daughter who came up, just to let her know I was streaming. And here's our water brush. I have seen reviews saying that when the water brush is fully assembled, it does not fit in this section, which I'm not sure about, so I kind of want to just put it together and see. Well, that seems a little bit silly. That is accurate. You can't get that angled in unless you take the lid off. This little stopper guy is pretty snug in there, and with the surface tension of the water is probably good enough fit, because it's not getting squished while it's in there. So it probably will hold without making a mess. I haven't tested that, so this is just first looks, first opinions. Taking a look at this, those are some really pretty tones. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing those on swatches. And we also have our pencils. Nice, and just 3 pencils stuffed in there. I don't see any material holding them still, so they've been able to rattle around a little bit. So probably could fit 4 pencils in there if they're slim. This Derwent drawing pencil is a little bit thicker, so is the Onyx. They're a little bit thicker than a standard pencil. The Derwent graphic feels like a standard pencil size. These barrels are slightly wider. And I have them all upside down. Let's go ahead and... I don't have any affiliation with Derwent. Just noting, same with Jackson's and Dick Blick. Those are just manufacturers and companies that I like to order my art supplies from. So, get that out of the way. No affiliations. Not that I would mind. You know, always being fair and honest when I give opinions about materials. And I'm going to catch a quick drink because my throat is a little bit tight today. Alright, so let's move on. I'm probably just going to swatch these where we were swatching our inks for Ferris wheel press. And I did go ahead and do those dots to see if I could spot some color separation. I think I need a larger sample size to really catch it because, like, I can't even tell it here in the bluegrass velvet where I'm able to see it pretty clearly there, so I think a larger sample size is needed. This one, maybe? I can't tell if it's just the, you know, the way it diluted out from, you know, mass tone versus the wash. Those look like maybe there's 2 different tones going on, but I'm not sure. I also did some quick tests with the double raspberry with the Definitel Peachy and the freshly squeezed Sunshine to see if I could get a red tone out of it, and I think it kind of gets there. I think if I went ahead and mixed them on a palette and then placed them, I would probably have some more obvious red tones. As it is in the washes, it's kind of hinted at, it's not for certain. But there's that. Alright, and... nice. Little boy is noisy today. He's a lot of fun. I'm going to move this box off to the side, though this is one more item from that order. This is... you know what, I'll go ahead and just open it up, just make sure it arrives safely. Because that's all I did, is I open up the packaging because that's too big for my desk. This is terrible, but I'm going to go in with my craft scissors again too. Just a quick little snip. I love paper packaging tape. I don't know why. It's just such a old-timey kind of thing. Ooh, are these the starch ones? I'm pretty sure this is these packing peanuts, I'm pretty sure, are based on cornstarch, which means if you put them in water, they dissolve. It's basically like a cheese curl without flavoring. It might even be made out of corn, but yeah, I love those. You can do hollow beads with them with polymer clay. So you wrap the outside with your strips of polymer, and then after you've baked the clay, you go ahead and soak them in water, and this part dissolves out. I've done some like cage style beads like that. So yay! Packing materials I can reuse. I love that. I got some water gold size by C. Roberson and Co. And I wanted to try this as a different type of media for doing gold leaf. That's what this is for. It's for doing some gold leaf, and I really like the look of that with like a splash of metallic with graphite works and with ink works, and I'm thinking, I don't know, we're gonna have to pick like at least something from this MerMay series that I'm gonna pop some leaf on because I really want to test this. So stay tuned. Let me know your thoughts. If there's any sketches you'd like to see specifically, or drawings or paintings, however you want to consider them, because I've used a lot of wash with ink lately, which I'm kind of all over the place because I want to show you the swatches for the shade and tone set, and I also want to show you the status update as far as where we got with the piece from yesterday. So this was prompt for day 7. Phantom, Treasure, and Song. It is not done, but I did go back in and added some tonal washes and some more details with that treasure. It's still not done. This needs to be knocked down. This is right now like a little bit of an eyesore because of how much contrast there is. So this will still be tweaked and noodled with, and I'm thinking I'm going to add a little bit of color to the music box and maybe some like haunting little music notes or something. I'm not sure if I'm going to texture the floor. Really, all of it should be wood, but I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. So at the moment I just put a darker wash here because I wanted to create some contrast at least and have that process started. So figuring it out as I go along, and I really like how dark my Phantom is, how he kind of just like radiating. So that's where that's gotten for today. So park that off over here. Do have some other pieces that I need to do during the day, but that is for a bit later. I think maybe I'll get the pencils out of the way a little bit. So we'll go in with, I guess, just writing its name, playing with some pressure. I'm doing heavy pressure on the right-hand side just to kind of see how strong that goes, and then we'll just taper it out over here. That is a very glossy graphite from this angle. Having this light over here, that way. I'm seeing a lot of shine from the graphite on here. Tipping it though, it does get to a nice deep value, so that's cool. And apologies. Alright, so we have the Derwent graphic, it's a 3B. And again, using this heavy over here. And then I'm just going to keep this line going. I didn't quite pull this out as far as I could, as far as light lines. I'll go ahead and give that a little smudge, why not? Alright. Yeah, they are pencils. Actually this didn't smudge very much, which is nice. I like to have a range of like pencils that will just smudge if you look at them cross-eyed versus pencils that kind of stay put a little bit more, and just on an initial little soft smudging that didn't move too much. Alright, and then we have the Derwent drawing in terracotta. Ooh, that is very soft feeling. That's really, really soft. I wasn't expecting that texture. Alright, so yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. It's very kind of soft and creamy for laydown. It does have a teeniest bit of a sheen where I've worked it down in mass tone. Like really building it up, there's a little bit of a sheen there. But it's not like the graphite where it like has a metallic type sheen. It's just like very softly, like maybe oil or wax based. It feels a little bit like an oil pastel, but it's a lot firmer. That's an interesting texture for me. I haven't played with the drawing set before, but I've been interested in them because that whole range is really light fast. And I enjoy having a lot of light fast materials because then I don't have to worry about if I made something and somebody's interested in buying it, I don't have to feel bad about, like, is this going to last? Except for when it's like this sort of thing where it's like the ridiculously cheap paper. Like, nothing I do on this paper is designed to last. But that's just fun for me for like swatches and doodles, and you know, if the idea is really attractive, then I'll move it on to better paper. So I'm probably just going to go at this with our number 8 round, the unknown brand. It's just a synthetic brush. I'm going to go from dry. I'm not pre-wetting these. I just dampened my brush. See, why didn't this track come up when I searched for pirate? This would have been perfect. Alright, so I probably should have started on the other end. Things you need to think about when you're left-handed. That did re-wet really well. I'm going to leave it though. I'm gonna rinse it. Because being a lefty, I'm just going to wind up smudging this. So I'm going to start from the right-hand side of the palette. A little bit of that is cut out of frame. Let's try to slide to it. There we go. So this is the tinted charcoal in burnt embers. From what I've seen online, this one does take a little bit of work to go ahead and re-wet. To go ahead and build up that mass tone. This thing is so smooth, like it doesn't look like I'm building up any pigment on top of it. Ooh. I like that, that is pretty. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of water. And just kind of softly transition that a little bit. I'm curious to see if the color travels back through the swatch. I have a little bit of a gradient going on. Oh, you know what? Before I get ahead of myself, I'm going to go ahead and swatch the white. It just says Inktense white here, but in other sheets I've seen it say Inktense, and then it was the antique white, which was already part of the regular Inktense line. But I want to swatch that. There's a little bit of contamination from the dust on it. I'll go ahead and do a quick rinse. Why has the music stopped? Alright, so slightly diagonal. I should have put a black line down for the white. See how opaque this goes. I was just kind of more curious to see, does this even show up on this paper, because this paper is kind of a cream tone. So I'm curious to see if I'll have like a little opaque spot that looks different than the surface of the paper. now I will go worry about the music. And you can see kind of a little wet spot there. Oh, that was the end of the playlist, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. Why are you not still playing then? Keep on playing. Silliness. Alright, and you know what? I have not hopped over to Twitch. Oh, I did update this one. Okay. So this was the last screen in my software that I had been working on to go ahead and update, which is my little comment octopus. I didn't remember if I just finished them in Photoshop layering the file or if I'd popped it over. Oh, you were hiding the pirate track from me, huh? Rowdy Robbie says that I should that should stop at the leftorium. Nice. Hey, phrasing? What phrasing? Alright. We'll go ahead and move off our octopus back to the main screen. So yeah, we're almost a half hour in already. Hopefully it's been interesting looking at new art supplies. I'm going to finish doing the rest of these paler shades while I'm down here, even though I'm the most excited to see all these reds. I'll just... You know what? You guys gotta move. Back in the brush holder. I've gotten really bad when it comes to clearing off my desk because I don't know what I'm using each day during the stream so far because it's gotten so random. I'm not upset about it being random. It's just trying to be prepared. Go ahead and do whatever I can to try to anticipate whatever weird mood I might be in for painting wise. These swatches are probably a little bit big to be fitting 12 across this paper. Well, 6 across 2 rows. We'll see. Hopefully it fits. But yeah, my general thing is to work from like the lightest tones to get to the darkest tones, and I forget that sometimes and do silly things like that. Even though I really should go ahead and switch back. I'm just trying not to need to change out my water in the middle of this. Okay, so going back to the order of the pans, so I'm working right to left again. This one was the tinted charcoal and burnt embers. This was the Inktense white. This is the pastel shade Storm Gray. I will be labeling them and showing you the swatches when they're dry, which will probably be a future stream in a day or two. Ooh. This is the Graphitin Audit Brown. Adding a little bit of water. See how you tint out. Oh, that is pretty. I'm so glad I decided to get these. I've never ordered from Jackson's before, so this was a first for me. Having to wait for stuff to go ship internationally was neat. It's like my package was in Sweden for a bit. This one, I believe I already said this was the Graphitin and Autumn Brown. I really like that. It's very, very interesting. Appears to be granulation. I'm not going to hold to opinions about granulation or not on this paper because this is probably the worst paper for me to be swatching to get a real good feel. This is more getting a feel of the color than it is the actual textures and qualities of the paint. But going back to the ink tints, this is black. That is incredibly dark. That's awesome. I'm trying to add a little bit more water. I'm gonna see if I can get a better feel for, is this a cool black or a warm black or a mid? We'll go ahead and let that sit. Now my eyes are seeing it as kind of warm, but that may be because of the neighboring colors. A lot of this set has kind of a warm cast to it. Yeah, this Storm Gray and Mass Tone, I'm seeing it like a bit cooler, but this wash makes it seem a little warmer. It's really interesting how our eyes perceive color when in relation to other colors and things like that. This is the Ink Tints Sepia coming up next. These are all re-wetting really well, which is lovely. Which means you don't have to take forever with that water brush. Go ahead and pick up some good pigment. For what I'm doing with these the swatches, I really don't need to be pulling off as much pigment as I probably am. I mean, I'd probably just do swipe and do my swatch. But I also like to really push the mass tone where you might get like a bronzing effect when I'm just getting acquainted. I want to see stuff like that if it winds up drying with like a sheen or something to it when you use it too strong. Because that'll let me know, can I be heavy-handed with this? Do I need to lighten up with it? You know, just general... Oh, the wet spot phrasing. Haha. Colorblind, so you don't see a bit of difference. That's where the wash is for this one. That's what I was calling a wet spot, but it's dry now. Yeah, well, you might not see a difference, but I don't know, maybe somebody else will. If I tilt it this way, everything goes a little cooler because you're catching the light from my desk light over here. That's my secondary light, and then you also have sunlight coming over my shoulder because I have not put my curtain back. Sometimes I think it's better that I do have the curtain up, and other times I'm feeling like maybe it's better that I just have some light coming over my shoulder. This is the Ink Tints Venetian Red. A nice earthy red. This is one of those watercolor paints that I've been looking at for a while, where it's like, do I want Indian red? Do I want Venetian red? And I haven't played with a lot of earth pigments as much as I kind of feel like I should. I'm going to bring this wash. Bringing this wash back over here. There we go. I think I'm going to finish up the reds row before I go back to the darker colors. This is Ink Tints in Sanguine. Wow. There's another YouTuber that I was watching. Actually swatched this set. She got it like a month ago. Put her video up then, and she was pronouncing it sanguine in such a weird word, and apparently that's slightly stuck in my brain. That'll make a really great skin tone. like the lightest of peachy tones. Yeah, I'm almost out of room. Like, that's okay. It'll fit. It'll fit. That's what I get for not drawing out a grid, but I tend to be a little more freeform with my swatches. Because it's leaving room for me to figure out what I need to see from that particular brand. And this is also Inktense. This is the Mars Orange. I kind of do want to break out my Inktense pencils right now, because I know some of these are colors that they don't have in any other line. And I'm kind of curious to show you and to know for myself. But I'm thinking I don't have them like easily accessible right now. This is the Graphitint in Graphite Gray, and that is wonderfully dark. This should be a nice granulating color too. Like painting with pewter. I'm pushing the pigment over to see where it washes back out too. Others will. Can't see similar shades of the same color. Okay. I always feel bad about doing anything with color comparison though. When you're on, like, you're not seeing all of it. And now we're back to the Inktense. This is Sepia ink, or Sepia. This should be on the warm side. That's a lot of water. Hold on. Nice. Do you know, historically, we used to get sepia from cuttlefish. Used to be from their ink sacs. Alright, back to the tinted charcoal for burnt earth. And yeah, if I do just a little pass, you know, just a couple brushes against it, the tinted charcoal doesn't really move. I did a good bit to get that swatch up because I saw someone else do the swatch online, and this would be one that if I needed to use like a deep value of it, I would go ahead and pre-wet these, just the tinted charcoals. It is a pretty color. One of these is not as light fast as I would use for professional scenarios, but as far as like in a sketchbook, these would all be really pretty. If you're doing prints, that all of these are fine for that because you're scanning and you're not doing anything with the original. But one of them is one that I would probably remove. Any more sea turtles to eat them? Aw, that's just mean. Who doesn't love a sea turtle swimming? Well, I suppose I can't disagree with that. Sea turtles are cool. I'm thinking of Crush from Finding Nemo. I'm currently digging around my downloads because I have a list of the light fastness information. And We've gotten that within the week. So it shouldn't take me too long to dig that up. Assuming that I kept it. Okay, it's not there. Maybe it's in my images. Scrolling through my images. Did I choose not to save it? I would be very upset with myself if I forgot to save this. Yeah, I'm already into the last week of April. That's silly. Okay, so apparently I'm going to do a search for this because I forgot. You know what, I might have already uploaded it. I save a lot of stuff about images and whatnot in Evernote. That's the software that I've been intending to use for that. Am I even unmuted? Okay, I am unmuted. Good. Just making sure. Interesting. It's nice to have like a controlled place to be doing interviews by phone. I know I had this this sheet. This is going to drive me nuts. Manuals and support. It should be right there. This is the top tips sheet. Hopefully it's everything. Do-do-do. No, it's not. Okay. No, that's the light fast pencils. I had this. I did. I had it. I thought I was all prepared. Oh, it's gonna make me nuts to not to know which of these colors is the one that is not light fast. There it is. My notes on it. Autumn brown. One of the graphitin colors is a 5. The rest of these are at 8s, 7s, and sanguine by ink tints. That one is a 6, but that is still considered good light fastness. Yeah, the one that is, as they would say in Among Us, is sus. Would be the graphitin in autumn brown. Which is a shame because that is such a gorgeous color. It's always the prettiest colors that are not light fast enough for me. Huh, that's interesting. Maybe she likes the sound quality of just being in the car because of the enclosed space. Might have I don't know, better sounding acoustics as far as like everything feels close together, and I don't know. I can't argue for or against. I don't know what's going on in her mind, but yeah, I'm really happy with these. I know that some of these colors should actually erase. Boy, my squirmy boy today. It's like, this would be easier on yourself if you just take a nap. Yeah, I don't know how dry these are going to be while I'm streaming. I'm kind of curious to go ahead and start taking erasers to these. Even that's a bit cool. That one feels pretty dry. I know that one's definitely wet. That one's wet. That one's wet. I want to take an eraser to them all and just see where they're at. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that yet. You know, while we're at it, I'm going to make another little swatch of the drawing pencil. These two I know are going to erase pretty well because graphite tends to lift pretty well with a plastic eraser. But the drawing one, I don't know about you. Go ahead and I mean, it's definitely lifting some of it, but here I am putting more and more pressure on it to just see if this little spot will erase. Once you lay down that drawing pencil, some of it's going to remain. So I don't love that. I'm also not really surprised because of the texture of it. It feels a little bit like it's slightly like creamy because of like maybe like an oil-based recipe or maybe a wax-based recipe. It could be kind of either. Wax tends to make things a little drier until you have like a good bit of friction, which would have happened when I built up that mass tone. So either way, I'm somewhere between like wax and oil mixture that makes that. It's really lovely. I feel like I would want a range of colors of them to go ahead and do burnishing with them. Because I feel like I would want that to blend, to go ahead and take advantage of that creamy texture for a lot of work. So there's that. I'm trying to think with the time that we have left. We have about 15 minutes, and if I should be getting into anything else, maybe take a look at the next prompt. We'll go ahead and just push this off to the side for now. The next prompt was Octopus Sailor Film Noir. I have mixed feelings about that. I don't know what I can do in 15 minutes. I kind of feel like the what I was doing with the previous gradient washes just, I don't know, maybe a little bit towards like noir. I kind of don't want to take this one off the pad yet, though, because I know I'm going to add more detail and more washes, and it just gives me another edge that can distort in the process. See if I could just kind of heal that guy up. So Octopus Sailor Film Noir. Are you going to fold down enough? Helps if I maybe move my spray bottles. Put them back where they normally are on the desk. I feel like this is entirely the wrong music for this prompt. Alright. Ooh, that's a good quote. In the midst of movement and chaos, keep stillness inside of you. It's by Deepak Chopra. I have a tool that I use on my my browser. So instead of going right to a Google tab, a search search page. I open up to like a picture and a quote, and it's very pretty, and I'm knocking into stuff. I figure I'd do a quick search at just like Film Noir. I just check out images, kind of have an idea. It's very Humphrey Bogart, very 40s, and I kind of feel like I really want to play with that one and actually get really into the those gritty ink washes. So maybe I'll sketch a little bit today on that prompt, but this one needs a full session for me to do the washes, because yeah, I could also go a little bit more like hyper realistic, not hyper realistic, that's the wrong phrase, but like the tone of like Sin City was very film noir, but it was different how they have the shading. It's very graphic version instead. It's very pretty too. They both lead perfectly for ink. You know, I actually want to see those swatches near this paper. I was hoping for one of these to be a little bit more vibrant. I know, like, the earth tones, they're not going to be super vibrant, but I was hoping for, you know, something that pops a little bit more red. Like, that would appear a little bit more red on this. I'm not quite seeing that shade. I want to play with all the grays and the whites for Film Noir. I'll keep some of the paper tone from mids. Probably a bit of the Inktense sepia if I feel like I need that range, but for me, I want a red if I'm going to go there. I don't currently have a red ink in any of my brands, so I will probably break my ink thing just for a moment to go ahead and pop in a little bit of watercolor. I mean, I could suspend some of my watercolor in acrylic if I wanted to do acrylic based, but and I have done that, but yeah, I think I'm going to break my rules. If I'm doing red, an accent of red, I'll break that, and oh no, I can do my Inktense pencils, and keep it all in ink, which means that I have to find them. I have a couple of them wound up in my roll. This is one of my travel bags. This was when I was first rolling around with my my muted palette. And I put a bunch of Inktense in here for sketching, and no red. Probably because of the light fastness. Not many of the reds that I like are light fast enough for what I want. I do have more nibs. This is where I keep my LED nibs. That's what's currently on my my pen holder. And then I also have the left-hand set for Speedball, which is funny because when I'm doing more like drawing, I do that using more of my my left hand. But if I'm doing like calligraphy, I've kind of trained my hand to be a little bit more conducive to being right-handed when I do that. I'm trying to think like what kind of... I think this is going to be silly. That it's going to be Film Noir style, so it'll look like very rough, very gritty, but like maybe the Octopus is the detective and go go silly on that side with it. I might include more color. I'm going to try to keep it largely black and white though. My phone is accepting random inputs to just do strange things, so that's fun. My brain is kind of like automatically seeing an alleyway. Maybe we just have a body in the alleyway and close up on the octopus wearing the classic fedora. I don't know, this is going to be some cheesy kind of silliness, and I need to work on perspective for it, which means that this is not a fast sketch. This is gonna be rough for me. I hate perspective. I don't mind drawing like loosely on references that are based off it, like, you know, perspective basically exists in everything, but I have to sit here and I have to grab the ruler and draw the lines, and that's what I don't like. I can do it, and I should do it. Just going to try to lay out something. I'm not even looking at references. I probably should have an idea of like fire escape or something. Alright, so I'm going to take some visual cues from a general movie scene, but I'm going to bend all kinds of it into other stuff. So, fire escape ladder. Right now I just want to slap down a sketch since you guys are still here with me, and to go ahead and kind of find a place for this to be worked on later. So this is like a basement window. Of course we have like some boxes and crates and stuff because, you know, no alley is just left alone. I don't really want to do a dumpster. I'd rather have crates and stuff sitting around. Just random stuff. Random stuff. Sherlock Holmes Octopus. A bunch of magnifying glasses. I don't know. Maybe have him, the octopus, like very close up with the magnifying glass looking at us, kind of breaking the fourth wall if I'm gonna go there. But I definitely wouldn't do the deer stalker. It's like, you know, for me, Film Noir, it's gotta have the fedora. Let's go 1940s all the way. That's still a little bit off. But my little one is going to be very happy that I'm done. In just a moment here. Yeah, I feel like this might be a little bit high. I'm going to have to doodle around with this a bit, so you guys are probably not going to see a good chunk of the sketch process, because I think for what I'm trying to do, I've gone too high with this line. I think it needs to be that way. I'm trying to think of what I want to say. And knowing is half the battle. Do a building over here. Yeah, this is only going to be like another second of work. Because fussy boy who chose not to nap. And is fussy now because he needs a nap. I kind of like this thing going on. You have these, of course, like, everything's wet, so you have these puddles and dark shadows. It's gonna be fun exploring the range of value there. Alright, and is that about right? I feel like this line might still be off. I probably need to bring in my ruler to go ahead and straighten up a lot of the sketch, but I have a direction. I have an idea for some cheese. And it's not a bad thing to dip your toe into some cheesiness once in a while for drawing. This one is not going to match the rest of the series, clearly, because silliness. And just a little bit of work in the background. What? There we go. Okay, so straight up, I am downloading a picture of Humphrey Bogart from Maltese Falcon. He's going to be just a general reference pic for like mood and atmosphere, and I'm going to be really loose about doing bricks in the background. I don't want to spend my time doing too much detail. And I don't know, is this octopus in a suit? Or are we just doing the fedora? G.I. Joe. Nah, no G.I. Joe. But yeah. I want this to seem like a nice flowing line. Basically, your eye would come in from here. It's going to follow this roof line and just generally kind of be drawn here, where the tentacle would maybe be up. Go ahead and kind of highlight the body, which would be probably somewhere around there. I feel like maybe he needs to be over a little bit more. It's kind of just general hat brim. But yeah, I need to wrap up at this point. Thanks so much for stopping by today. I'll have some more sketched up when we start tomorrow. And you can see where the day 8 prompt will take us at that point. Slowly catching up. You know, I'm only 4 days behind, and well, I'm actually further behind than that because I haven't worked on 5 and 6 in a couple days, but I only get a little bit of time every day. Most of that time is here with you guys, and keep on drawing and painting and inking, all the fun stuff. And see you tomorrow.